The Enigma of Love. The skyline of New York glittered like shards of a broken mirror, reflecting the dizzying heights of ambition and the secrets lurking in every shadow. At its zenith stood Alexander Reeve, a media mogul whose empire spanned continents. His presence was magnetic, his charm intoxicating, but his heart guarded. The whispers in the industry spoke of a man who seemed to have everything but carried the weight of ghosts unseen. Then came her, Zélie Rousseau, a Parisian model with skin like burnished ebony, eyes that held galaxies, and a voice that lingered like the last notes of a jazz melody. Zélie was more than just beauty. She was art in motion, a muse who could unravel the most stoic of souls. When she walked into the gala for Global Vision, Alexander's flagship media platform, time seemed to pause. He watched her from across the room, an enigmatic smile tugging at his lips. She was speaking animatedly in French, her laughter a melody that drew heads. Alexander, a man who commanded boardrooms and bent the will of billionaires, felt an uncharacteristic hesitation. But as the evening unfolded, fate intervened, and their paths crossed. "You must be Alexander Reeve," she said, her accent a soft caress. "And you must be the reason this gala feels brighter than usual," he replied smoothly, though his pulse betrayed him. Their connection was instant, their chemistry electric. They danced, they laughed, and as the hours slipped by, Alexander felt the walls around his heart begin to crack. But love, especially one as consuming as theirs, was never without complications. Alexander's past was a labyrinth of secrets. There were whispers of a failed engagement, business rivals who disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and a family legacy tainted by scandal. His late father, Edgar Reeve, had built the media empire with ruthless ambition, leaving behind a legacy that Alexander struggled to reconcile with. As his relationship with Zélie deepened, so did the interference of his past. Anonymous threats began to surface, cryptic messages sent to his office, photographs of Zélie in public places, and warnings scrawled in red ink. "She will never be safe with you." Alexander's instincts, honed by years in the cutthroat world of media, told him this was no ordinary threat. Someone was watching, someone who knew too much. Zélie, despite her grace and resilience, sensed his turmoil. One night, as they lay in his penthouse overlooking the city, she traced the lines of his face with her fingers. "You're haunted, mon amour," she whispered. "Let me in. Let me fight this with you." But Alexander, ever the protector, refused. "I can't risk losing you. Not you." The turning point came during a trip to Paris. Alexander had planned the getaway to escape the suffocating pressure of New York and to give Zélie a taste of her home through his eyes. They strolled along the Seine, visited hidden jazz clubs, and shared stolen moments beneath the Eiffel Tower. For the first time in years, Alexander felt free. But freedom was fleeting. One evening, as they returned to Zélie's apartment in Le Marais, they found the door ajar. Inside, the living room was in disarray, and on the wall, scrawled in the same red ink, "Leave her or suffer the consequences." Zélie's eyes filled with fear, but Alexander's darkened with determination. He knew he couldn't run anymore. He had to confront his past to secure their future. The investigation led him to London, to a man named Victor Calloway, a former business partner of his father. Calloway had been ousted from the company years ago under dubious circumstances and had been harboring a vendetta ever since. Calloway's obsession with destroying the Reeve legacy now extended to Alexander's newfound happiness. In a tense confrontation at a secluded estate, Alexander faced Calloway. "You've taken enough from my family," Alexander said, his voice a low growl. "You won't touch her?" Calloway sneered. "You think love makes you invincible? It makes you weak, and weakness is what destroys empires." But Alexander had anticipated Calloway's move. With evidence gathered by his most trusted confidant, he exposed Calloway's criminal activities, ensuring his arrest and neutralizing the threat. Back in Paris, Alexander returned to Zélie, who was waiting for him on the Pont Alexandre III. The city's lights shimmered on the Seine, and for a moment the world felt still. "It's over," he said, his voice heavy with exhaustion and relief. Zélie searched his eyes. "And what about us?" He took her hands, his gaze unwavering. I've spent my life building walls, running from shadows. But with you, I want to build something real. A home. A family. If you'll have me." Tears glistened in her eyes as she nodded. "We, Alexander. Always." As they embraced, the past no longer felt like a chain, but a lesson. One that taught Alexander the true strength of love, the courage to face one's demons, and the power to rewrite destiny.